Hey y'all, this is J Marie, J Marie Booklist, and today I'm making a video about working when there are two secretaries on the unit. So for the most of you, when you work, there's only you. You're the only secretary on that department. But there are some departments that are large where they require two secretaries. So whenever I talk about the main floor, it was me and another secretary. There was always two secretaries because that was a big floor. And but when I went to the ICU, it was only one secretary. And we had some floors that had multiple secretaries, and then we had some floors that just had the one. So you know, the one floor, like when I first started, when I first became a secretary a long time ago, I worked on the med surge floor, and we had two secretaries. It was me on one side and the secretary down. It was only two hallways, but they were down the other hallway, and and they had some worked 8-hour shifts. Some worked. This one lady I know, she worked 10-hour shifts. I don't think they really had 12-hour shifts then. They were starting to phase that in when I left there. But usually, it was always two of us, and usually on that floor, everyone was consistent. It was a good floor. You really didn't have you working by yourself that many times. There were some who were, they get a little PTO, and they get enough PTO and they call off. But it wasn't always like that. But there were some who took advantage of that. And then on the main floor, they really didn't, I guess because we were doing 3 days. We did 12-hour shifts, and well, one side did 12 and the other side did 8 hours. And so it was always covered. Like we had a good group of secretaries. It wasn't really an issue. And then when I went over to the ICU, it was just me. So that's why I know so much, because it's an ICU, and then it's just you and the nurses. We didn't have any CNAs in that ICU. The other ICU had a CNA, but we didn't. It was just us. And then our sister floor was one secretary. Even though it was a big floor, it was big as far as the size, but not the patient count. So the rooms were all private, and it went like in a circle. So it was like different nursing stations, but it wasn't a lot of patients. Whereas another floor, they used to have two. Well, they probably had, no, I think they had more than us. The one floor, they only had one secretary, and they probably had about the same number of patients as that floor. But it wasn't a big floor. It was just a regular unit and the same number of patients, where our floor, our sister floor, was just a big unit, just the size of the unit, but not in the patient count. And then like the main floor was a big floor. It had 4 hallways, and it was always busy. Like when you work in the hospital, you don't say, "Ooh, it's quiet in here." You don't say the Q word. It was never quiet. Like if it was quiet, it was like one of them rare occasions where they sent one of us home. Like rare. Like we never got sent home. We never got canceled. We never barely floated, because they always needed us, because we were the consistent floor. And so it was just, yeah, they weren't having it. They knew not really to pull from us. Like other people got pulled. So like when I went to the ICU, I got pulled all the time to go to other floors, because ICU is small, the nurses can handle it. And our census went up and down all the time. And so I floated a lot. That's why I know a lot, because I floated a lot when I went to the ICU. When I went over to the ICU, I floated a lot. But the benefits of working with another secretary that you don't have when you're just the only one is, you cover each other. Now on the main floor, we used to cover each other for lunch. So one would go to lunch, and then I would handle the floor, handle the calls, because we can see the calls, because it was like 2 stations, but some calls rang only on that side, but I could get them. Same thing with the call lights. The call light was, for some rooms, it was only set up for to go over there. So, but usually, we took care of it. We can get it. and and then so someone covered for you. When I went to the ICU, the charge nurse had to cover. When I took my lunch, and so that you have each other. Same thing if you want to switch a day, you got somebody you can switch with, because you can go ask, hey, whoever you work with the most, hey, you off this day, can we switch? You work this day, I'll work one of your days, things like that. I mean, you can ask the other secretaries too. In ICU, it wasn't really like that, because it was only two of us. And now our sister floor, it didn't like I don't in the ICU, the other secretary, she asked me one time to switch for her, because I would never work for her, because she had asked me to switch with her, like to work for her, because she was always one of those. As soon as she had PTO, she called off, and she asked me to work for her. She called me at home, woke me up, woke me up on my day off, asked me to work for her. Sure. So then I come in there, because I had worked the weekend, and this was a Monday. So I come in there on that Monday. I come, hot stepping through the door, and I stop. And she's sitting there, she's like, what you doing here? I'm like, you asked me to work for you. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Ooh, I was so hot, y'all. I was so hot, because I had clocked in. And I mean, like, when I say I don't fault this traffic, because I don't deal with no traffic on the weekends. I don't fault this South Florida traffic on a Monday to come and work for you. And you talk about, what you doing here? Okay. Oh, I was hot. She was following me down the hallway. I was like, girl, gone. Don't you ever ask me to work for you again. Like, don't play me like that. You called me at home and woke me up and asked me to work for you. But see, she probably forgot, because she probably was going to take the day off, because she always called off and stuff, and then remember that she couldn't. She probably had enough PTO or whatever. Ooh, I was hot. So me and her never switched. We very seldom. Like, I just like, don't you ever ask me. Because, like, really? You make me fight this? I almost got in an accident. I remember that Monday. I almost got in a car accident on the highway, because I wasn't used to that traffic, Monday morning traffic. I worked the weekends. Ain't no traffic. I mean, it's traffic, but it ain't no, like, not in South Florida. Yeah. Like, don't you ever. I mean, I came in there, I was hot stepping. I had my perk. I'm like, I'm about to get this money. Like, what you doing? She like, what you doing here? I'm like, are you serious right now? So, yeah, I was not happy about that. But usually, like when I was on the other floor, if I needed someone to switch, I had more people to choose from, because I worked with more. Like, because some of us did 12 hours, some of us did 8. So there were more that I could ask to work for me. Whereas over there, we really didn't have it. So if I called out, then the one upstairs gonna have to do both floors. Our sister floor gonna have to do both, or they're gonna have to try to find and pull somebody from another floor. So I mean, that's the not so good part about being the only secretary, and then especially just having a little small number to choose from. Because I remember the secretary from the other floor came over and asked me to work for her one day, and on her floor, and I don't know why, because they had a whole bunch of secretaries. So because they had their own sister floor, so I don't understand why. But she came and asked me to work for her, but I was already working that day, so I couldn't do it. And like, I can't be two places. So, but they had their own sister floor, and they had a lot of secretaries. So I don't know what that was about. But sometimes, depending on your camaraderie, you can ask somebody from another floor to work for you. I want to say that happened a few times. I want to say someone asked me to work at our other hospital, because we had another hospital, and they asked me to come work out there, but I was already working. I want to say, I can't remember who asked me to work for them out at the other hospital, but I was already working that day, so I couldn't do it. But that's one of the things I did miss about working on the main floor, is that you had someone who would cover you, because it was so many to choose from. You can have someone work for you, switch days with you. You had more people. Whereas me in ICU, it was just me and her, or them. I don't think they barely. But anyway, let me hush. And then I mean, it's just like the know that there's someone who has your back. That's the most important thing about having two secretaries. Like if I need to step away from this unit, they gonna hold it down. Like if I need to run out to my car because hospital's bed parking lot way over there, I need to run out to my car. The unit ain't gonna fall apart. We did have one secretary. So we started out. I trained her. I was sick training her. I was covered up in a blanket at the nurse station training her. I was falling asleep training her because I had a cold. But I trained her and we were good. And then she wanted to be, I don't know, but she was all in the bosses behind. Let's put it like that. And so we didn't really anymore because she wasn't pulling her weight. I was running the floor because she told them, because she would go and ask for it. She was like, oh, we ain't got no work to do. And how you ain't got no work to do when there's two secretaries? If you got two secretaries, is work to do. But apparently I was so good that she felt like I did everything. I'm like, we had two different nurses stations. How can I be doing everything? I'm over here, you over there. Like, how can I be doing everything? Don't be mad because I find stuff to do. But see, I go find stuff to do where she was asking for stuff to do so she can get off the floor. Whereas I'll find something to do, but I'm still close to the phones. Do you understand? I'm still there. But you see me working. But I'm over here doing this. I'm straightening this up. Whereas she go find something to do way back there where she ain't answering no phone. We gone 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like that, yeah, no. Don't do that. So so we weren't no longer, because it was a big old whoop-de-doo, and we were in the office for like 45 minutes because I actually went in about something else, and then they called her up in there, but anyway, so I think she realized that I was correct after I left, when I went over to the ICU, because she tried to befriend me, like, hey Jackie, in the hallway. I'm like, girl, please. I remember that hour. I was in that room for an hour and a half with y'all, fooling around with y'all, and you in there lying. Like, don't play with me. So I think she realized, because one of the things that she was doing that they found for her to do, she stopped doing it. But because I'm like, she gone for like all day. Like all day. Why are you here? They don't take all day. So she stopped doing it. Like right after I left, she stopped. So she knew they knew I was right. They look. When I left there, I very seldom went back over there. Like, they're like, oh, you can come over here, and if you ever want to work extra, because they know I get my money. And they was like, if you ever want to work extra, you can come over here. I'm like, so the few times I did get pulled over there, usually would sit with a baker at. But sometimes I did. I think maybe once, twice, I worked at the desk. It was like years. It was like, when you coming back? Oh, you're coming. I've been gone for a good 4 years. But they still consider me, because I'm the best, But I think they realized after I left that I was a very, very good secretary, and they knew that because they were trying to get me to come back. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. If you work on a unit and you don't have that camaraderie with your fellow secretaries, because that's one of the things that just bothered me so much, when the secretaries just did not have that we in this together, we got to stick together. Like, that just bothers me. That just really bothers me. I guess that's why I made this channel, and when I talk and when I make these videos, I don't talk like a friend. I talk like a mentee, a trainer, like, cause that's what I always wanted. And it's like, we never had that. When I worked when I first started, I was friends with like two out of all those secretaries. I was probably friends with the one the most, Katrina. She was from Serbia somewhere. She was real good people. Kathy, we called her Kathy, but her real name was like Katrina. She moved to Arizona, and then the one, she was wild. But I was friends with her. But the other, it just wasn't like, it just wasn't, cause it just wasn't there. It just wasn't that camaraderie. It just wasn't there, and I just never liked that. So then when I became it again, and was on that main floor, in a big unit, one, two, probably two out of all those that I would speak to, and the one, she left. She left after I left, but we still friends. Like she worked somewhere else, but we're still friends. And then the one, and she worked night shift. I was not cool with none, and most of them gone anyway. And but I was not. It just wasn't there. It was just that main floor was so messy. It just, ugh, goodness, it was just no. It was just no camaraderie, just nothing, like nothing. Only the one person that's still there that I would speak to. Like when I would float over there and sit with Baker Acts, I would stay in the room. They wouldn't even know I was there till I'm leaving. Like, oh, you were here? Yep, I've been here all day. I was in that room. I stayed my butt right in that room because I remember. Okay, I remember how y'all did me. I remember. But see, they was all lying. No, we don't know what Jackie talking about. Jackie talking about this and y'all look. I tell it. Okay, I tell the truth. And they was just so scary. That was scary. Them people were scared of their own shadow. Like all of them. That's why they ain't had no camaraderie, because they were all scared. I'm like, what y'all scared of? What they gonna do? What they gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing. Like, what you scared of? Okay, I was like, what? Being there an hour and a half telling it. Okay, don't play with me. Okay, don't be accusing me of nothing. Told me the management told me I was jealous of the secretary because she was nominated for an award. Like, I don't care. Okay, you gonna give me some money? All I care about is money. The only reason I come up in here and deal with y'all for this money. I don't care about no award. I want the money. Yeah, she told me I was jealous of the girl. And then she called the girl in there. But the girl didn't even win the award. She was just nominated. But that when if you work on a unit and it's two secretaries and you had that camaraderie, I'm telling you, it's the best unit. A lot of secretaries, a lot of floors don't have that because you're usually the only one, and then when the night shift come in behind you, you're fussing because this and that, they don't do this and they don't do that. But when you have that camaraderie, it's real good. When I went to the ICU, in the ICU, we did have that. I think we all pretty much got along. I mean, it was some, people got their little ways, but for the most part, everybody got along. Now the other floor, our sister floor, child, please, because the workplace bully was up there. She worked night shift, and she harassed everybody. But she knew not to try it with me. But they ain't had no camaraderie up there, and that's why they always had high turnover. They had high turnover over there because they didn't have that. On our floor, we did have it, even though it was just like one per shift. But the four of us, we got along, so it was good. But I'm telling you, the secretaries got to stick together. They got to, because on the other floor, the floor that I always talk about that makes the nurses cry, the nurses be over there crying, that's a hard floor. That's a hard floor for no reason. It don't even got to be hard. It's just hard because they don't know what they're doing over there. But they have two secretaries, but they don't act like it. They act like the secretaries don't even, they have no camaraderie at all, like none. It's like two different units. It's not even the same unit, because they never, when I would go to lunch, the secretary would never cover. So they tried, they kind of started after a while, but it's not really, because the one department secretary, so you have the secretaries that sit at the desk and work, and then they have a secretary who can do payroll and stuff like that and order stuff. Like they had a department secretary because they got a sister floor too. They had like a few floors under the management, and she would come and fill in. So when I would go to lunch, instead of the other secretary, instead of me forwarding my calls to the other secretary, because you can forward the calls, you can forward the call lights, you can forward all that to the secretary and let them handle it while I'm going to lunch. The department secretary would come and just sit there and do it. I'm like, why? Like, why? But that's how they run. It's like why? Why would you do that? Just forward the calls here. If you going to lunch, you a secretary, I'm a secretary, you're going to lunch, forward the calls to me. But it was like it's two different units, even though it's the same unit. It's just they had none. But they always had like float secretaries and float nurses and float CNAs and float charge nurses and float everybody. Like they didn't have their own staff. So it was just one of those. But I'm telling you, I like working with another secretary. I never had an issue where I just, I got to be the only secretary, even though that girl accused me of that. But she, don't be mad because I handle mine, okay? Because I can run this and not break a sweat. Run the biggest floor in the hospital and not break a sweat. Don't be mad at me, okay? But I don't have anything to do. Yeah, whatever. So it's not that I want to control the whole unit, because that was a big unit. There was no way. Okay, no way I will be trying to run that whole unit. That unit was too big. The ICU, I ran that. Okay, our sister floor, I ran that. The other floors, I ran that too. But that floor, no, not by myself. Even though I did it a few times by myself on a Friday. Discharge admission, child, I remember that day. I remember that day. Okay, on a Friday, ain't break a sweat. Okay, that floor was busy. That floor was hopping. I remember that day. I ain't break a sweat. And my feet hurt though. Okay, I tell you that much. Cause something, look, I was up and moving around. Tell you the truth, up and down in the rooms and everything. Cause I was handling it. That's how I do. But I wasn't trying to run that. No, I wasn't that crazy. But like I said, when a unit, when the secretaries have camaraderie, when they're one, when they're on the same page, when it, like even in ICU, me and the other girl, well, all of us at first, and then they changed the system, but we all could order, like for the pantry, to order and make sure, and we had a system. We had a system, and we could see who ordered last and put it in the book and all this. Like we had that system. I knew some people like to order all this damn milk that's gonna go to waste. Okay, I don't order milk. They order milk that's gonna sit there and spoil, but whatever. Okay, I gotta make sure we got enough juice. Like I had my things, I gotta make sure that we got. Okay, but some people like to order the milk and let it and watch it spoil. That's you. But we had that. But then when they changed the system, it was only me and the other secretary, the day shift. We were the ones who could order, even though the other ones could order, because we left the sheet with the passwords and stuff. We left it there, but they just never did after that. So it was just me and her. And even then, when it's me and her, we would go back and look and see when the last time an order was placed, so we can know by how much we need to order and stuff. We had that understanding. That's what you should have on a unit, whether it's one secretary or two. That's that camaraderie that I'm talking about. So y'all, this is Jackie. I will talk to you later. Bye.